Hyundai and Kia cars in Wisconsin are considered easy to steal because of an alleged manufacturing defect. What does the Hyundai and Kia theft class action lawsuit allege? The lawsuit alleges that there are defects in all of the automakers' vehicles, especially the ignition systems. Plaintiffs allege that Kia and Hyundai vehicles are targeted by thieves because of these defects, and they're taking advantage of the bad design. Welcome to Radio Labio's English program, where I share the most interesting notes of the day that you may not have had time to catch up on. I'm Juan Andres. I podcast in English and Spanish to ensure that all Latinos can have access to our programs regardless of what language they speak. Thanks for listening. Unfortunately, not much information about the lawsuit is known as it's sealed. But statistics continue to say that thefts are an epidemic because 66% of all thefts involve Kia and Hyundais. And yet the automaker is only 9% of the U.S. auto market, but represents 66% of thefts. Extrapolating, further thefts by Hyundai and Kia in Milwaukee alone have risen, are you ready for this? 2,500% last year alone. Not in the history of the automaker. In 1 year, 2,500%. And this is serious. What's worse is that many of the thieves are supposedly high school kids who find it easy to steal these vehicles, and the word's spreading fast. If it's happening in Milwaukee, it's going to happen all over the country, and I hope we all get ready and be prepared to prevent this. The Milwaukee robbers are called the Kia Boys. It's such a problem that the Milwaukee Police Department now offers free steering wheel security to help stem the tide. All right? You got a Kia, you have a Hyundai, you pick up the phone. Hello? 911? Give me the police department. I want a free steering wheel security apparatus. I own the Kia, I own the Hyundai. And I don't know if you have to go pick it up or if the cop gets in the squad car and delivers it to you, but they're getting it. Free. That's how bad it is. And this is how the Kia Boys do it. They allegedly enter through the side window or pry through the rear window because the rear window is not part of the vehicle's theft system. Are you ready for this? Could you believe this? In other words, you can't steal through the front, but you can come through the rear window, because it's not part of the theft system. No alarm, no nothing. Just break the damn thing and jump in the car. Oh, Lord. Anyway, then they remove the panel where a USB cable port is located. Once removed, they're tied to the car through the port to start the vehicle. The USB port starts the vehicle. And part of the problem is that the Kia Boys' favorites supposedly don't have engine immobilizers. Most vehicles with push-button start systems have this feature. So there are problems at different stages of the robbery, in total making robbery a lot easier. And this is not the first time Kia and Hyundai have faced obstacles. According to Consumer Reports, Hyundai and Kia are recalling a total of 37,327 vehicles from 2021 and 2022 models to address a problem with a fuel pump and fuel rail. It has nothing to do with the stealing of the Kia boys. This is on top of it. The recalled vehicles include the Hyundai Santa Fe, the Sonata, the Kia Sorento, and K5 SUVs and sedans. According to Hyundai, during an end-of-line vehicle inspection in late March, a fuel odor was detected in a newly assembled 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe. During the insuring investigation, the automaker determined that during assembly, there were some vehicles where the pipe connections between the high-pressure fuel pump and the fuel rail were insufficiently tightened to the proper torque setting. Somebody didn't tighten them tight enough. So in addition, Kia America received a report of a fuel odor in a vehicle with the same fuel pipe as the Hyundai. So it was affected by the recall. During their investigation, they determined that some fuel pipes did not meet specifications for the brand. On top of it, one thing is that they weren't tightened. Then when they start looking at it, they find out that the pipes where the fuel, the gasoline's running through, didn't meet specs. Why, I don't know. Maybe saving money, who knows? They identified a production lot from early January of 2021 that contained defective fuel pipes. Either condition could lead to fuel leaks, which increase the possibility of fires and the risk of personal injury. When a car catches on fire and you're sitting in it, it depends, how it happened. You might not be able to get out. That's not a nice place to be. And to complicate things for the automakers, the U.S. government's Road Safety Agency has paid more than $24 million to one person, a whistleblower, who reported that Hyundai and Kia moved too slowly. They were dragging their feet to recall over 1 million vehicles with engines that could freeze up or catch fire. They have two types. One that just stops working, freezes up, the engine doesn't work. Here you are on the freeway. And then there's another one where you're driving down the freeway and all of a sudden your engine, you could cook your barbecue on there. It catches fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the award is the first that is paid to a whistleblower. It's also the maximum percentage allowed by law of penalties paid by the Korean automakers. In November of 2020, the agency announced that Hyundai and Kia would pay $137 million in fines for safety improvements and in an agreement to fix the engine problems. The announcement resolved a 3-year government probe into the company's behavior involving recalls of multiple models since 2011. And Hyundai had to pay $54 million in civil penalties and invest $40 million to improve safety operations. Kia, which is affiliated with Hyundai, I didn't know that, but they're affiliated, had to pay $27 million in penalties and invest $16 million on safety performance measures. The penalties from both automakers total $81 million. Now, the agency didn't identify the whistleblower in a statement Tuesday when announcing the payment. The statement said the automakers inaccurately reported crucial information to the NHTSA about serious defects in the engines. In other words, they fibbed. They fibbed. By law, the agency is allowed to award 30% of collected penalties to a whistleblower who gives significant information resulting in actions that brings penalties of over $1 million. Meanwhile, you have rights. because all you Kia and Hyundai owners are going to be facing all these things. You're going to be getting letters, and if you haven't gotten them, who knows if it's part of the dragging feet process. You have rights, and I'm going to share them with you. The manufacturer has a duty to create a vehicle that's safe for you to use. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, the manufacturer neglected this duty by defectively designing or manufacturing a vehicle. In other words, deceptively means they knew and they played stupid. The vehicle defect was a direct cause of the accident. The accident happened because. So the accident resulted in harm such as psychological injuries, physical injuries, missed days from work, permanent disability or disfigurement, and medical bills, and there's more. Those are the major ones. If any accident produced any psychological injuries, physical injuries, missed days from work, permanent disability or disfigurement, or medical bills, the automaker is responsible if it happens to meet this criteria. The good news is that the majority of defective vehicles are recalled well before they cause drivers or passengers any harm. Thank God for that. I certainly don't want any Kia or Hyundai owners to have any kind of difficulty. But I also want to let them know what's going on because I haven't heard much of this on the news. However, if you're the owner of a vehicle that has been listed in a recall, it's in your best interest to seek repairs or replacement as soon as possible. Because if you drive your vehicle after you've been informed of the defect and advised not to drive it and you're injured in an accident as a result, you may be considered partially liable for your damages and unable to recover the maximum compensation in a product liability suit. So it's always important you get something in the mail, because I know a lot of us, oh God, here comes that. No way. Look at that. Honey, I just got a letter. They want to take away my vehicle. They want me to, I don't even have time to drive to the dealer. Oh my God, how am I going to get, this is a pain. And then you put it on the desk and ignore it. Come on. There's some of you that do that. Tell the truth. Don't do it. Don't do it. You get the letter? Go to the dealership. Work out a deal. They should give you a loaner. But don't ignore it and don't drag your feet because it's going to cost you money. And anyway, you're risking your life. If there's something that goes wrong, you get into an accident, it could cost you your life. You get those recall letters, you act on them now. Don't blame the honey. Don't complain to the honey. And stop bitching and get your buttocks to the dealership and deal with this. I really mean this seriously. Protect yourself, please. I want to address, you can find us on more than 60 sites on the internet where you can listen to our podcast. Just ask Google Radio Labio and they'll pop up and you can pick the one you want. On my behalf, as well as my colleague Yvonne Encinas and our manager and fellow on-air personality Francisco Maldonado, thanks for listening and I'll see you next time.